Okay, welcome back to another edition of Stephen Follows Instructions. We'll have a little fun today with artificial intelligence. On the screen you see my Mastodon account, and I guess about a week ago Martin Dugiamas came up with this link to a GitHub repository with the tantalizing sentence, build a Perplexity inspired answer engine. So that's what I've decided to do. Here's the GitHub repository. Now, as per usual on Stephen Follows Instructions, I have not read anything ahead of time. I don't know how this works. I haven't a clue. I'm just gonna take it as it comes to me and try to figure it out. And maybe it'll work, or hilariously, maybe it won't. So this is all the stuff with these GitHub repositories. Of course, you always have to scroll down a bit. So here's the real front to it here. Perplexity inspired LLM, large language model, answer engine. And it was the #1 repository of the day, or it might be now. Watch the tutorial here for a detailed guide on setting up and running this project. So that's helpful. Technologies used, okay. Okay, prerequisites, ensure Node.js and NPM are installed on your machine, and obtain API keys from OpenAI. I have that, I think. Grock, Brave Search, and Serper. Okay, and here's the places to get them. So let's check. I'm pretty sure I have Node already installed, but I'll fire up PowerShell. I work in a Windows environment. That has often contributed to some of the hilarious failures, because a lot of this stuff is written with the developer presuming a Linux environment. And of course, if I'm in a different environment and they haven't tested for that, who knows what's going to happen. So let's test NPM. And nothing happens. NPM warn config. Oh, there we go. That was kind of slow. Wow. Okay, that's better speed. I don't know why that was so slow. I certainly have the computer. It's capable. Now let's check for Node. Welcome to Node. Okay. 16.16. Does it say I have to have a special version? Nope. Okay. All right. Good enough. So you notice, by the way, I'm not running the video, even though there is a video, because videos take time, and I can often figure this out faster just by following the instructions than by running the video. But if things fail, I'll run the video. Okay, so we'll cancel out of Node here. All right. There we go. This the bigger text, so you'll be able to read it more easily. Similarly, I can make my text here bigger. All right, OpenAI keys. I believe I already have an OpenAI key. Paradoxically, I like to log into OpenAI with my Google account. Okay. And I have some keys. All right. I use OpenAI on a semi-frequent basis, almost entirely for coding and almost entirely for JavaScript coding, because I'm not as strong at JavaScript as I am in other languages. I've used it a little bit for PHP because I'm doing a PHP project. Okay, back to the instructions. So, didn't open in a new window. So we have to go backwards. All right, Grock API Key. I don't even know what Grock is. So log in, or is there a way to create an account? This will be a very short episode if I can't create an account. Okay, continue. Again, just using Google. Create API key. Lovely. Enter a display name for the key. Grock API Key. I have no imagination. And there it is. Copy it now, as we will not display it again. So I have it copied, and I'm going to put it into Notepad. You might be thinking, what on earth is he doing? He's showing his API key. Well, yeah, but this is all temporary. By the time you see this, all of this will be deleted. This is not a production thing. All right, so I got that. Okay, and alrighty, and I'll probably actually, now that I think about it, I'll probably actually have to use or create a new OpenAI API key, because it too does this thing where it shows you once and then you never see it again, which I actually like. I think that's a good plan. All right, so back here, next API key, Brave Search API key. Try Brave Search API for free. It's interesting. I'm pretty sure I have Brave installed on my computer. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I might as well install it. So we'll just install it first. It doesn't say I need it, and maybe I don't need it, but I really should have it. I had it on a work machine and got in trouble for that. But this is my personal machine. It's actually rather more secure than my work machine. Waiting to install. Installing. Yeah, Brave is a really interesting browser. Privacy by default. We'll skip the setting it as a default. We'll import the settings from Firefox. Yeah. Select all. Oh, I'm going to close file. I'm not going to close Firefox. I'm using it. All right. Finish. All right. So I'll just set this to more horizontal the way I like it. Never been able to comprehend portrait mode computing. Would you like to pin Brave to your taskbar? No, thanks. But I am going to pin it to the start menu. Again with the laggy. There we go. Just put it under browsers. Alrighty then. Okay. So I didn't need to do that, but you know, it's not like I'm in a rush. Although it is a video, I should kind of keep things crisp and moving along. Alright. So we've finished that. Let's try the Brave Search API for free. Register a new account. See, there's no Google login. So, always with the long passwords. I think that's important. Makes it a lot harder for them to figure it out. Where did you hear about these? Other. Please specify. And I'll open this up in a new window just so I can capture the URL. And by capturing the URL, I can paste it in here, and that gives them some useful feedback. And now I don't need this anymore. All right, verification email has been sent. So let's open the email. Where it is? There it is. Yeah, I know. I keep my email under browsers. What can I say? There's the email has just come in. Verify email. This is real time, so that's a nice response. Okay, I am now able to log in. Okay, so let's do that. And we'll log in with the password I used earlier. All right, Brave API gives you programmatic access to Brave search index. So API, search API, endpoint, curl, okay. But I need to generate a key. Doesn't say where to generate a key. Manage your API keys. Add API key. There we go. Oh, please use subscriptions tab. Okay. Oh, I see. So subscribe to the free version. It's one of these things, if it works and it's aren't you guys nasty? Nasty, nasty. So okay. All right, so I have my plan subscribed. Okay, now I'll go back to my keys. They could be a bit better with their page titles, don't you think? Let's go all the way back here. Okay. Forward, there we go. API keys section. I've already generated that, so I'll reload this page. Add API. This link should now be active. It is. I have up to 3 keys per subscription. So okay, it's 3 for search, 3 for spell check. All right, so I'll call it Brave Search API, and I'll add it. And there it is. I'll copy it. 1 request per second. That should probably do me. And that's my Brave key. And again, temporary, so I'm not too worried about that. But you notice I do put them in a separate place like that, so I have them handy. It's not a permanent file. I can delete it, so I'm sort of, you know. Well, it's in an application called Note Tab. And Note Tab, like if the computer crashes or something like that, reopen Note Tab, it'll just save its state. You know, get everything that I had from before. So I'm not worried about the computer crashing. But I also can close the file without save it, and then it's gone. So it's a nice kind of middle point. Note Tab, I've used it for years and years and years. And I swear by it. All right, next on our list. So go all the way back. Serper API key. Okay, Serper API key. No credit card required. That's the kind of thing I like. So we'll sign in. Again, oh, sign up. Okay. Okay. So this is real exciting so far. We're getting to see me sign into various companies. All right, again, the long password. they've sent a confirmation email. Just gonna wait for it. Signed up for this recently. Julia Evans' Saturday Comics Bash Tricks, which I quite like. These are really good. I've already learned a ton from them. Okay. Alright, so now we've verified my email. Ooh, what's this? Alright, so this is, right, Node.js code. Okay. Oh, there's my API key. Okay. Oops. So I'll just put that in my list. Alrighty. I'll keep this window here handy because the code's right here. That's pretty cool though. That's nice. And part of the reason why I've been using more and more JavaScript recently is most of my coding has been done in Perl. And a lot of these things, these APIs, there's actual code for JavaScript that you can just cut and paste. And ChatGPT will know about it too. Perl, not so much. Often the code simply doesn't exist. If you try ChatGPT, it'll take a best guess, which are generally pretty good guesses. So, all right, country GL. Yeah, okay, playground type search. All right, okay. So I've got my API keys. I don't need that anymore. Oh, we'll go back to our instructions. So I might have to go back and generate a new OpenAI key, but that's no big deal. So we're going to come back here. Well, let's just do it, and then we'll have the set. So we'll create a new secret key. OpenAI API key. Create secret key. Copy. Done. And again, we'll never see that key again. And that's why we do it like that. Okay. All right, so now I've got all my keys as required. Let's go back. All right, clone the repository. Now, they did not put in the prerequisites, and they probably should have, that you need to have Git installed. Pretty sure I do, but let's just check. It's right at the bottom of the screen there. Just move this a little bit so it's a bit easier for you to see. So let's just check. Virtually certain. Yep, okay. So, git clone. So, oh, that's nice. We'll just copy it. Alright, so git clone. Well, let's put ourselves in a good directory first. Okay, so cd e, because that's my solid state drive. Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay. cd code projects. What do we call this? I don't know what to call it. So I've already got a thing called AI. We'll call it Perplexity. Yeah, it's not really Perplexity, but that's what I'll call it for now. Or actually, yeah. We'll do it that way. We'll call it Perplexity. Perplexity. CD. Should be nothing in it. Yep, good. All right, now we'll clone the repository. And let's see what we got. LLM answer engine. All right. Oh, okay. All right. So what we'll do is, okay. Yes. Ooh, didn't like that. Oh, well, whatever. I'll deal with that later. I'm going to run the clone thing again. Alright, so now I have a directory called LLM Answer Engine, right? Yeah, there it is. And that will be my directory for this, and I'll clean up my Perplexity. Well, let's do that now. Perplexity, code projects. It's just, just keep things clean as I go along. Delete. There we go. All right. CD. Oops. LLM Answer Engine. Okay. Awesome. Okay. All right. Install the required dependencies. All right. What are the odds it's going to install the required dependencies right from the directory? I mean, it's weird. These instructions are weird because they didn't say go into the, create a directory, go into the directory. So they're skipping a bunch of steps here that really, I guess they consider them obvious. Okay. All right, so this is going to work. Okay. So it's what's happening here, I hope, is that for this directory, there's code in this directory listing the node.js dependencies that are required for this project. That's really the weak point, to my mind, of just the whole node.js world, is these dependencies. I'm glad they've depreciated the whole global and local thing. That was the cause of all kinds of problems, because some developer out there would write some code and there would be a dependency. It was already a global dependency on their system, so they didn't even think about it, right? And then they ship the code and I run it and I don't have that dependency, and it doesn't run. All right. Errors all over the place. Error could not resolve dependency. Conflicting pure dependency. See user. Oh, how annoying. For a full report. Okay, we'll do a Control C to copy that. We'll pop back into Explorer. Let's have a look. Oh, I should have known Vercel was involved. Not a fan. It's just all Vercel stuff. Yeah. All right. Maybe I need to be in a different directory? No, everything's here. Or bun install. No, I don't have bun. I don't even know about bun. Right, the term bun is not recognized. Alrighty then. Let's look at the video. And we'll see if there's something that they've just sort of skipped over.
In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to build out your own Perplexity style LLM answer engine completely from scratch. So we're going to be building the front end, we're going to be building the back end. I'm going to be showing you how to use all of the different technologies such as the inference APIs. I'm going to be showing you how to use RAG. I'm going to be showing you how to use LangChain. I'm going to be showing you a number of different. To get started with this, I'm going to put a link within the description of the video where you can go ahead and to get started with this, I'm going to put a link within the description of the video where you can go. To get started with this, I'm going to put a link within the description of the video where you can go ahead and clone the repo. Now there's a couple prerequisites to get started with this. You are obviously going to have Node.js installed. You're also going to have to fetch a number of different API keys. You can go ahead and get started for free with the Brave Search API. Now the reason I have two different search APIs is Brave gives you only one query per second. So within the example that I showed, we have the search results themselves, but then we also have images and videos. So I decided to use a second search engine API where I'm using a Serper. And the nice thing with Serper is you can try it out for free without even plugging in a credit card and get 2,500 free queries. Then we're going to hunt down an API key for OpenAI. We're going to be using OpenAI just for embeddings. You could also swap it out for a different embeddings model if you'd like. And then finally, we're going to get an API key from Grock. So if you head over to console.grock.com, click API key. The way that I'm going to set this up is we're going to go through the back and the Serper API. So once you have all of those plugged in here, we're going to be ready to dive into our mentioned is you will be able to deploy this to Vercel by the end of this. So if I just demonstrate this here and I say latest Sam Altman podcast with Lex. So you'll be able to put this on Vercel. You'll be able to interact with this there if you like. You can set up some authentication and do all of that. I'm not going to be doing that within this video, but you can just see how it works within the Vercel platform here. It's really easy to set up. So if you have the Vercel CLI set up, you'll be able to just go ahead and deploy it through your Vercel account for free. Or alternatively, if you just want to run this locally, you will be able to do that as well. Now, one question that I anticipate I'll likely get is, can I use Ollama with this? So you absolutely can. You can locally query Grock if you'd like. You can also query GPT-4 or a different model like Opus or whatever you want. But if you want to use Ollama, it's really... Then I'm going to hop over to the front end model, generate an API key, and then once we have ENV, so up here, we're going to be ready.
For precise API keys. Cloning the repo. Okay.
Use RAG. I'm going to be showing you how to use LangChain. I'm going to be showing you a number of different search engine APIs. We're going to be using the OpenAI embeddings API. There's just
all right. Just trying to
how to use LangChain. I'm going to be showing you a number of different search engine APIs. We're going to be using the OpenAI embeddings API. There's just a ton packed into this. So it's going to be a little bit of a longer one than my typical videos. It's also going to be definitely more of a technical deep dive for this video. But if you're interested in seeing how I built this out, stay tuned. I'm going to go through exactly how to set this up and walk you through all of the different steps and my logic and why I set it up the way that I did. To get started with this, I'm going to put a link within the description of the video where you can go ahead and clone the repo. Now there's a couple prerequisites to get started with this. You are obviously going to have Node.js installed. You're also going to have to fetch a number of different API keys. You can go ahead and get started for free with the Brave Search API. Now the reason I have two different search APIs is Brave gives you only one query per second. So within the example that I showed, we have the search results themselves, but then we also have images and videos. So I decided to use a second search engine API where I'm using a Serper. And the nice thing with Serper is you can try it out for free without even plugging in a credit card and get 2,500 free queries. Then we're going to hunt down an API.
We never actually see him cloning the repository.
To get started with this, you are obviously going to have JS. To get started with this, I'm going to put a link within the description of the video where you can go ahead and clone the repo. Now there's a couple prerequisites to get started with this.
Okay, so the video's not going to help me. He does not actually show us cloning the repo and installing the prerequisites. So, of course, The place where it fails for me is the place where there's nothing on the video. So what can I do? Don't want to give up that quickly, but could not resolve. And it's all Vercel crap too. That's the problem with the stuff, right? I imagine it runs fine on Vercel. Vercel's a cloud hosting service. They do a lot of marketing, but you end up paying for that when you use the service. And, you know, and you're kind of locked into it because you get these errors that depend on this Vercel stuff. At least that's been my experience. And you can go back. I've documented all of these Stephen Follows Instruction videos. So, I mean, it's not like I'm making this up. The evidence is all there of me doing this. Can I figure out the solution? See, that's not the one I wanted. To find it all over again. Well, I'll have to find it all over again. Okay. It's not like it was hard to find. Okay, we'll open this up. Alright, okay. This is the log. It's a bit different from the other thing. Gets, all the gets ran fine, all the fetches ran fine. Man, that's a lot of prerequisites. And okay, here we go. From the stack error. Could not resolve. Failed pure conflict. Huh. Oh. Have we got some odd characters in there? Did somebody just cut and paste from an MS Word document or something similar? Because that, unless it's the log itself is just generating that. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it's just these quotation marks. So, I don't know. I don't know how to solve this. I don't even know where to begin. That's part of the problem. Because we didn't build it. You know what I mean? We just have this great big, humongous package, and we're installing it, and it either works or it doesn't work. Sometimes it works the second time. But even that, like the warn the config global and local or depreciate, why is it warning me? Have I been using it? Is it using it? I don't know. It's even got Docker compose and Docker files in here. Oh, it's Express. Wow. So Express is basically, how do I want to describe it? An API server type program. So it allows you to use the browser and call commands, access the database, whatever. Yeah. So the errors started to happen once they hit the Vercel stuff. And, so it might work inside Vercel, but I'm not going to go inside Vercel and try to make it work there. So I guess we have a pretty short edition of Stephen Follows Instructions. Oh, well. What can I say? I'm just removing those keys because, may as well. I love I put a typo in there. Okay. Well, that's too bad. Where's the last brave search, I think. I don't think I even saved this. No, I never did. So, yeah, let's save this because I might use this again. I like 1Password. 1Password's been good. Okay, API keys. No API keys. Oh, I already removed it, man. I wonder which one I have left. Well. I removed Serper. It must be Grock that I still have the key. Yeah, there it is. Alright, all the keys are gone, so, and my project is cleaned up, and I'll remove the directory. So I don't know why this went wrong, but it's yet another short edition of Stephen Follows Instructions. As so often is the case, the experience was a crash and burn. And yeah, and this one, like a lot of the time I try to work my way, work the problem, and I've done some stuff to make some of the stuff work, but here I have no real point of access to get started working the problem. It's just this big, huge code dump that either works or doesn't. So I'm going to wrap it up here. That's the end of the episode. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Stephen Follows